We continue now at the top of Daf Yomi Gemara, Meseches Beitzah. This is Beitzah Daf 40b. The Gemara here is continuing the answer of Rebbe. Rebbe says, Ela grogros v'tzimukin bilvad. The only time that Rebbe Shimon holds of muksa is by dried figs and raisins. In other words, Rebbe was asked, what's the halacha according to Rebbe Shimon by patzile tamara? Patzile tamara, again, are unripe dates that you put them in a vessel in order to ripen. So according to Rebbe Shimon, is that muksa or not? Is that something you have in mind for? And Rebbe said it's not muksa. The only situations that are muksa are grogros and tzimukin according to Rebbe Shimon and nothing else. And this seems to indicate that Rebbe does not hold of muksa. Yet on the previous Amud, Rebbe seemed to hold of muksa. And Rashi over here explains, Ela begrogros v'tzimukin shein mitchila ru'uyin lachila. What's unique about grogros and tzimukin, which again are dried figs and raisins, because those originally actually could be eaten. V'hudacho san biyadayim, and you're pushing them off actively and saying, I don't want to eat them before they dry. Lahalos and liavshad, you're putting them up on the roof in order to dry. You want to use them in a different form. V'shuv einon ru'uyin ad sheyivshu. Now at that point, once you take the grogros and tzimukin, in other words, once you take the figs and you put them on to dry, once you take the grapes and you're trying to make them into raisins, they're not going to be fit until they're fully dry. Aval elu lo dachos an biyadayim. But when it comes to the patzile tamar, that's different. You never actively said you don't want it. V'ikadachol minayu achi. Some people eat it as is. So kasal kadaite midafarish le'mil. So the Rebbe Shimon almo Rebbe Shimon svirle. The point of the Gemara here is from the fact that Rebbe is explaining what the halacha is according to Rebbe Shimon, that indicates he holds like Rebbe Shimon that there is no concept of muksa. And again, that contradicts what Rebbe said. Rebbe was talking about what's considered a domesticated animal, what's considered a wild animal, the assumption being that a wild animal is muksa and you're not allowed to shecht it on Yontif. So that's the question. Does Rebbe hold of muksa or not? And so the Gemara gives a few answers. Iboy is saying, if you want, I could say, Hani nami ke grogros v'tzimukin dami. This case as well, meaning wild animals, is the same as grogros and tzimukin, and even Rabbi Shimon / Rebbe would admit that it is muksa. Rashi says, Iboy is saying, Hani midbario shein nechnosus liyishav klal. If you have wild animals that never come into the settled area of the city, ke grogros v'tzimukin dami, and that's the same thing as grogros and tzimukin, shemaksos on me'etzlo b'yadayim. That's like you're sending them out of the city. You're basically saying you don't want to use from them. So that's going to be muksa even according to Rebbe Shimon. And again, according to this answer, Rebbe holds of Rebbe Shimon. V'bay same, if you want, I could say another answer. L'dvorav de Rebbe Shimon ka'amar v'leilo svirale. Rebbe was just saying what Rebbe Shimon would hold, but he himself, Rebbe, does not hold like Rebbe Shimon. V'bay same, if you want, I could say another answer. L'divreim de Rabbanon ka'amar lahu. Really, he's speaking to them. He's speaking to the Rabbanon according to what they hold. L'didi ein muksa. In other words, Rebbe is saying, according to me, there's no muksa. I hold like Rebbe Shimon. But according to you, at least you should admit to me, if you have an animal that goes out and grazes in the pasture at Pesach time, but does come into the settled area of the city when it's raining, and Marcheshvan when it starts to rain, the Baiso saying, at least admit to me that those are domesticated animals. At least that shouldn't be muksa. In other words, I myself, Rebbe says, I don't hold of muksa at all. I don't hold any of this as a problem. The wild animals are fine. But according to you, at least don't be so strict by animals that come in at the first rain. V'amru le Rabbanon lo midbari saying, and the Rabbanon say back, no, that we consider to be a wild animal. Hadron aloch Mashilin Peiros. We will return to you Perik Mashilin Peiros, so slika Meseches Beitzah, and that brings us to the conclusion of Meseches Beitzah. Congratulations to everyone who has finished the Masechta. And if you enjoy this channel and you're enjoying these videos, please like, share, and subscribe. And you can take a look at the description box below to see how you can support this channel.